I wanted to talk tonight in continuation of a talk that I gave around 3 weeks ago.
10 days ago.
About the title was Why Meir etinger is Wrong. I think, was that the title?
Meir Ettinger's Mistake.
Meir Ettinger's Mistake. Okay, I gave all talk over there. And now I want to continue on the same subject. And the reason I want to continue on the same subject is because my son, Tzvi Eliezer, heard the talk I gave over there. And he had a criticism or a complaint or a question, I don't know what to call it. I wanted to be mityaches to what he was saying. And we talked about it. And as you might know, or the producer knows, that I'm not one of these people that can shoot out an answer right away with the full self-confidence like some people we know. I'm a person that has to go think about things before I can answer. Of course, there are many things that are obvious you can answer, but I'm talking about if somebody asks a good question. You have to think about how to answer. And in fact, I think even I take pride in being like that, which other people will disagree with me. But I take pride in being that kind of person. He has to go think, and then he can say the answer. He could say, well, how to say it and what to say. Okay, that itself is something that maybe needs a whole talk in itself, so we won't go into it now. The question when my son was asking me is like this, and these kind of questions, I'm not used to these kind of questions. It might be it comes from the new generation. He's asking me, how could you say on somebody else that he's wrong? Maybe, and I'm saying over almost word for word what my son said to me. And he says, how could you say that the other person is wrong? Maybe for him it's right. That was his words. Meaning that there's certain things that you wouldn't do. It's not your way, but maybe for him it's the right way. Now, the way I grew up, I would never ask such a thing. I would never say, I mean, for him it's right. What does that mean even? I mean, we even have to ask ourselves, what does that mean? But it seems there might be a new way of thinking that's going around by the youngsters. I don't know, or maybe it's my son's own way of thinking. I mean, but that's what he said. Now, on one hand, I can't say that there's no such thing. I definitely think there is such a thing as something that's right for a certain person. There is such a concept. Although in the Olamai yeshivas where I grew up, I never heard of such a thing. It's right for him. But when I got older, in my younger years, I never heard of such a thing. Nobody said such a thing to me. But as I was growing up, I started saying that there is such a thing, that it's good for that person and not for other people. Because if you won't say that, it'll mean that everybody has to do the same thing, everybody. And Rav Hutner said once, a yeshiva is not a shoe factory. When a shoe factory, all the shoes come out the same. In a yeshiva, everybody comes out. Everybody's different. Everybody has his own. And Rav Hutner was a Rosh Yeshiva, but he was also a big chacham in Kochus HaNefesh. And he said such a thing. In fact, interesting is, a friend of mine had a son. This is a true story. Lulay, that I heard it from Adam, I don't know if I would believe such a story, that he told me that his son, this friend of mine's son, went to a certain yeshiva to get accepted And they tested him and they talked and learning with him, and they were very impressed from him. And then he was told to go talk to the mashgiach of the yeshiva. And while he was talking to the mashgiach of the yeshiva, so he said that my father said over in the name of Rav Hutner that a yeshiva is not a shoe factory where they all come out the same, meaning that everybody has their own way. Now, as a mashgiach, the end was that this bocher would not accept it to that yeshiva, even though the Rosh Yeshiva was impressed from talking and learning with this bocher. And they think, it seemed, that when he said this over in the name of Rav Hutner, that everybody is different and yeshiva is not a shoe factory. And that caused the mashgiach to say, you're not accepted in this yeshiva. Because this mashgiach probably believes that the yeshiva is a shoe factory. Everybody has to stick to these rules and come. I mean, of course, everybody has to stick to these rules. But the mashgiach, maybe he didn't understand that just because you stick to the rules, it still doesn't mean you can't find your own way. Maybe he's not so smart. Or maybe he thought that, no, everybody has to come out the same, just like shoes. I don't know what the mashgiach thought. Or maybe he thought that it's dangerous to let a young bacher have these ideas in his head because he won't know how far to take it. But whatever you're going to say, what I want to bring out is that the idea is definitely true. I mean, what do we need more? If the Chazal say, Kshem Shein Partzufeim Shovin, Kachein Deusem Shovin. Just like their faces are different, so their mind works different. Also, the Chazal say, Lefichach Nivra Odom Yechidi. Every individual is an individual. A person has to say, Bishvili Nivra Odom. I want to give an extreme example. Let's say there's a certain avoda of saying Tehillim. I once heard of a certain woman that I was told that she says the whole Tehillim every day. Also, Rabbi Osher Freund used to say a lot of Tehillim. But let's say somebody says Tehillim most of the day. And could you say that he's doing wrong? You can't say that he's doing wrong. Maybe for him it's the right thing. Definitely in such a case, you could say that for him it's the right thing. What do you want him to do? To sit in Machne Yehuda at a basta means a stand, and sell fruits and vegetables all day, which maybe it's also a good thing, but sitting and saying Tehillim all day is better, I think. Maybe for him it's the right thing. There could be such thing. Or let's say somebody, let's not go so far. Somebody, he instead of learning slowly, like they learn in the yeshivas, he learns fast. Let's say that. So you're going to say that it's wrong. Maybe for him it's right. Although maybe for him it is wrong, he could do better. Okay, so you have to know. You have to think about it. Maybe you know the answer yourself. Maybe you should talk to somebody in the yeshiva, to talk to a mashgiach or somebody that understands. Whatever it is, there definitely is such an idea that for him it's the right thing. So my son is coming and saying to me that this Meir etinger that he did or was suspected of doing, or he has the idea of doing, fighting the government, fighting a government, is something right. Maybe for him it's right, even though for us it's wrong. And I say no. Over here there's no such thing. Even and I go even to a greater extreme. Even to talk about it is a waste of time. To talk about what's wrong. Why I saw in this Meir etinger, there's a pamphlet they put out of poetry that he wrote, which is also interesting that somebody should take to writing poetry. at such a young age. And he wrote, I have it here in front of me, and he wrote about what they call the Hilltop boys. That he says that these young boys have many questions, and they see many sicknesses in the way things are run. And they understand. And then he writes further. They understand that it doesn't have to be this way. That people should be murdered on roads. That means here in Israel it has happened. Terrible, terrible tragedies of people that were killed by Arabs on the roads. It doesn't have to be. Now, who are you to say what has to be done? I mean, of course it's terrible. Maybe there is something to do about it, but what does a youngster have to sit and talk about? So I'm good. Sit and talk about how we could. And he says, "Yesh lazeh kol minei pitronot be'olam mefutach." In a developed world, there are all kinds of solutions to this situation. Now, I'm saying even more extreme. I'm saying even to talk about such things is a waste. Sit and learn, sit and learn Gemara and Tosfos. And if you think, and if you have an etinger to Hasidus, like he says, so sit and learn Hasidus, Chabad, and Likutim around all day with Havana, with depth. Then do that and fill in your 10 hours of the day with learning Hasidus. Yeah, I could hear that also. But to talk, I'm saying that this is wrong. For a youngster to talk about what can we do to fix this situation. There are solutions. That's wrong. It's not for us to talk about. Now, so my son is asking me, what do you mean? But you agreed to this idea that everybody is different and everybody has what's good for them. So how could you say that it's wrong is wrong? Now, I answered my son in the beginning. I did say, well, if there is such a thing as wrong, I mean, no matter what you're going to say, there is such a thing as wrong. So what are you saying? For him it's right, but there's such a thing as wrong. So where do you draw the line? You can't say on everything is right. Everybody. I mean, there's a Meir that they say Shivim Panim La Torah. I think it does say that someplace. I don't know where. But let's say there is such a thing, Shivim Panim La Torah, but that doesn't mean that you could kasher everything with it. But where do you draw the line? That's what I said to my son in the beginning. But then I was thinking about, you have to be honest, and you have to give. And being honest, I'm saying that a clear answer, it's not. What I said in the beginning, I can't say I gave a clear answer. But I'm not one of the self-confident people, the overly self-confident that always shoot out the right answers right away on the spot. So I was thinking about, and I was thinking, and then I said like this. I have the answer is like this. We have to first look at the action itself without looking at the person at all. Just something is done, some action is done. We have to look at the action, like take away the person from the picture and just talk, is this a good thing or not a good thing? Like what I was saying before. I was talking about saying Tehillim, and I added the whole day, saying Tehillim the whole day. But let's take away the words the whole day. Just talk about saying Tehillim. Is that a good thing or not a good thing? Of course it's a good thing. So we already decided. Now we take the person.
Rabbi Kaplan, we're going to take a break now. Thank you.